Should you upgrade from the iPhone 16 Pro to the iPhone 17 Pro Max just for spatial video? And how does this $20,000 camera phone actually compare to a $30,000 immersive camera inside Apple Vision Pro? If you are about to upgrade, hold on. This no BS review is focused only on spatial video, the trade-off, the hidden limitation, and even a hack to unlock true 4K 60 frames per second HDR capture on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Let's dive in. First, let's look at the spec. The iPhone 17 Pro Max didn't get a resolution or frame rate upgrade. Spatial video is still capped at 1080p 30 frames per second. However, you can actually shoot 4K at 30 frames or 1080p at 60 frames per second even in HDR on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I will show you the hack and the workflow for later in this video. Now, just because the resolution stayed the same doesn't mean image quality hasn't improved. The iPhone 17 Pro Max now uses 48 megapixel sensor on all three cameras. That means, for the first time, the left and the right eye should technically have matching image quality. Something that should reduce the eye strain many of us saw on the iPhone 16 Pro or 15 Pro.
This shit doesn't look level.
But here's the catch. That's not actually the case. Even though the 48 megapixel Fusion Ultra Wide and Fusion Mate camera use the same megapixel sensor, they are paired with very different lenses. The Mate camera, as you can see right here, quickly creates shallow depth of field and blur the background. The Ultra Wide, on the other hand, keep the background sharp even if Kimchi is super close to the lens. So while Kimchi, the subject, has identical image quality from both lenses, the background looks completely different, and that mismatch creates 3D discomfort, leading to headache when viewing inside Apple Vision Pro. On the other hand, the Canon R7 right here with the spatial lens is exceptionally good for close-up stereoscopic 3D shot. Exposure and focus remain perfectly matched between the left and right eye. If you are watching this test inside your Apple Vision Pro, you will immediately notice how much more comfortable the 3D look on the Canon R7 compared to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. But what happened when we shot at Apple's recommended stereo distance, like what you see here? Surprisingly, the image quality is almost identical. In fact, the iPhone 17 Pro Max showed better computational dynamic range, more pleasing color rendering straight out of the camera, and even less digital noise. And remember, both setups cost about the same, around $2,000 US. Now yes, the Canon shoot in C-Log 3 with cinema gamut. If you know how to color grade, it will still look a lot better than the iPhone. But the fact that the iPhone's image quality has come this far, even in stereoscopic 3D, is kinda scary. Here is something that you can fully see in the 2D comparison video. 3D aliasing issue. If you download the spatial video and watch it inside your Apple Vision Pro, you will notice in the center of the focal chart looks unnatural on the iPhone. On Canon, it's clear and natural, no digital sharpening and no denoising. On iPhone, sharpening is baked in by default, and worse, it's applied differently between the left and right eyes. That mismatching creates eye strain again. This is why immersive filmmakers, not TikTok influencers, are the one who really need ProRes RAW. We can't have baked-in sharpening or in-camera effect inside the render. We need full control in post, inside a 3D program like DaVinci Resolve. So Apple, if you are watching this, give us ProRes RAW for spatial video. We are the professional who actually need it. And if you are watching this video right now, help me out. Share it, send this video to Apple, and make some noise. The more attention this issue gets, the more likely Apple is to take action. Now, the real question. Should you upgrade from the iPhone 16 Pro Max to the iPhone 17 Pro Max for spatial video to capture your personal spatial memory for Apple Vision Pro?
You're out of focus.
Let's find out. Here is the side-by-side comparison. Look at the right eye first, That's the 48 megapixel main camera on both phones. Honestly, the image quality is about the same. The real differences come from the left eye, which uses the ultra-wide fusion camera. On the iPhone 17 Pro Max, you get much better dynamic range. Notice Kimchi's white fur right here. On the 16 Pro Max, it's completely blown out, no detail. On the 17, you can actually see the texture. Same thing with my reflected head right here. You can see detail that just aren't there on the 16. Now, look into the shadow. You will find significantly more detail preserved on the 17 Pro Max. And if you zoom way in on the tree in the far background, the iPhone 16 Pro Max looks plasticky in the fine branch with no real detail or texture. The 17 Pro Max, by comparison, hold natural detail that look much more realistic. When it comes to matching left and right eye image quality, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is much closer than the 16. And since stereo discomfort is usually caused by mismatched eyes, this is a big step forward. Yes, if you are serious about capturing spatial video for Apple Vision Pro right here, and you don't want to make your viewer feel cross-eyed or sick, upgrading to the iPhone 17 Pro Max is absolutely worth it. Now, let me share another secret. How to unlock 4K spatial video, or 60 frames per second, or HDR on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Both fusion cameras on the iPhone are capable of 4K. To access that in a spatial video, you will need a third-party app like Spatialify or Spatial Camera. There are a couple of other options as well I haven't tested yet, but they all work. As you can see right here inside Vision Pro, this clip was captured on the iPhone 17 Pro Max in full 8K. In Spatialify, it's actually very simple. Open the app, tap the camera icon, and you can select 4K, 1080p at 60 frames per second, or HDR. It works for both spatial photo and spatial video. If you are curious about spatial photo, check out my other tutorial right here. But there are drawbacks. First, capturing in 4K disables all in-camera stabilization, so you will need to use a gimbal. Second, notice these black edges around the left eye ultra-wide lens. This happened because the ultra-wide isn't as wide as the main camera, and it creates strange edge inside Apple Vision Pro. So yes, 4K and 60 frames per second are possible, but they come with trade-off. In most cases, I wouldn't use the paid third-party app for spatial video because stabilization and perfect 3D alignment are more important than just chasing a small image quality improvement. If you really examine the footage in Apple Vision Pro, the quality increase isn't dramatic. It feels more like an AI upscale than a true 4K sensor capture. That's why for me, it's not worth the hassle. But if you need slow motion and higher resolution spatial video, and you can lock your iPhone on a tripod, this is a workable solution. Finally, let's compare the $2,000 iPhone 17 Pro Max to an Apple-approved immersive camera, the $30,000 Blackmagic URSA Cine Immersive. Yes, you can absolutely use the URSA Cine Immersive to capture not only Apple Immersive video, but also stunning high-quality spatial video. If you want me to show you how, drop a comment down below and I will make a DaVinci Resolve tutorial if there's enough interest. The field of view is much wider on the URSA Cine Immersive, and the 3D depth and image quality are on a complete different level than the iPhone. You can see this probably in 2D comparison on a YouTube video, so please download my free sample and watch it on your Apple Vision Pro. The 3D depth alone is jaw-dropping, and when you combine that with wider field of view and crystal clear image quality, it truly feels like you're right there looking at kimchi in person. Now, let's adjust some of the noise on the internet. You will see influencers claiming the iPhone 17 Pro is better than cinema camera like the Sony FX3, Canon R5C, or even RE or Red. And then they post clickbait video titled "How to Shoot Cinematic Video on an iPhone." Here is the reality. Most of those people have probably never shot for cinema in their lives, or even stepped foot into one. This is not a cinema-sized screen. This is a potato screen. You can't compare a cinema-grade camera on a potato screen with a heavily compressed HEVC encoding streaming pipeline and call it cinematic. Inside Apple Vision Pro, you are watching on a true cinema screen wider than an IMAX theater. And in that environment, a true cinema camera will always look better than a potato camera. All I'm saying is give professional filmmakers some respect. Many of us dedicated years to this craft. Some even still shot on film. To compare that art to a shot on an iPhone isn't just misleading, it's insulting. Anyway, I'm sidetracked here. As a working cinematographer, it's already tough enough to land jobs with AI changing the whole industry. And now you see phone videographers claiming their iPhone is better than a professional cinema camera just for clickbait and affiliate sale for them. That's bad for the art and it cheapens the craft that we try so hard to perfect. In immersive filmmaking, the world I live in, the iPhone is nowhere close to a professional immersive camera. Pixel count matter, and to truly feel that massive cinema screen inside Apple Vision Pro, you need a 16K camera. That is what it takes to create an experience that feels real. I just want to say thank you for watching and for letting me share this. I have a soft spot for working cinematographers because it feels like the world is starting to forget real hardworking artists. Too often, we see the noise, the copycats, and the quick affiliate push drown out the voice of the true creators. But here's the truth. In the age of AI and endless noise, knowledge and work ethic matter more than ever. I will continue to share everything I know about immersive filmmaking for free on this channel, but you, as an artist, have to keep on practicing. Keep honing your craft. It can be frustrating when a carefully made immersive film gets fewer views than a 30-second viral clip. But don't let the number fool you. You don't create for algorithm. You create because you love storytelling, because you love the art. So think like a true artist. Work hard and you will find success, even in the age of AI. I will see you in the next video. Ciao, my friend.